Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So this video I'm going to do a review of my trades from the London session and the New York PM session. As you can see, these are the ones I took in the London session, which is between 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. So that's the main times I trade for London session. So let's get into that one. So my first London session trade was actually losing. The reason I lost was I believe I entered on an impulse candle which didn't really deliver off anything, but I thought it was a displacement candle. So it's kind of like a FOMO entry, which I shouldn't have taken. So as you can see, we have the London open, New Day open on the 7th, and then we ran higher, kept going lower, but this high was taken from 2 a.m. and then we dropped down, and then from this fair value gap, we dropped down lower. So this is why I thought that this trade would be a potential to run down to my narrative targets, which is new day opening gaps. So I'll show you that after. But yeah, this instantly got reversed in like a few candles, and I think it was because sell side was not taken at all, and then we went down. London open has not started, so yeah, we definitely need to run these highs again. So I'll show you my next trade. So this one was a winning trade, and then these are the characteristics I put down. So the entry was a institutional order flow entry drill, Monday, delivered off the new week opening gap, higher time frame were bearish, rejection from new week opening gap, and then we got London open high was swept, and then the times was 3 a.m. So that's kind of the main points. So this chart will show you why I entered this trade. So over here, we had a false breakdown to kind of trigger initial shorters. After that, we ran it back up, took out their stop losses, and then as soon as London opened, we had a large displacement candle down. I didn't want to enter on that because I knew that most likely these can get run if it's just like a random wick down on the open, and it did. So as soon as this was run, I waited for another fair value gap to form. So over here, after we ran down, we had one gap here, so started here to here, and then that's where I entered, just above the new day opening, IFVG center. But that's because I thought we wouldn't hit this gap, only because we ran down quite quick, and when we do run down quick, we tend to not touch if we're quite heavy. So yeah, and we were quite heavy. So the narrative I had going on was we already attempted to go higher, as you can see over here. We already attempted to go higher, higher again, higher, and we failed, which we broke down here. And then this was kind of like the manipulation. So, this was the manipulation. So this was consolidation, manipulation, which is where I would want to enter, and I did. And then my targets was actually for the new day opening gap cluster. So when there's a cluster of new day opening gaps, not there. So here, this is the first cluster that I was targeting in the London session. And the halfway point is around here, which also aligns with some south side liquidity. So I thought this was some low-hanging fruit. So that's why I targeted this area. And then my stop loss was above that. So as you can see, sold one here, one contract. This is all in demo. Sold one contract here, and then I waited for this. So if I look at the move, So this is where I entered, and then we dropped down. I would say this was the breakaway gap. But I just didn't have that marked. And then once we inverted this IFVG here, this was another entry point I could have taken, just going up. Oh, sorry, that's the one I did take. So I knew it wouldn't go even if it did go higher than that, I would have held, and my stop loss was all the way at 2207, so that's okay. And then we ran down more into the minor sell side. This could have been a potential profit target, but I think that was too close to that just wasn't a high enough RR. So if I took that trade, that would only been a 1.1. So I did want to target the lower sell side liquidity, which was a 3R trade. And then when I saw this breakdown here, I wanted to see this level now not get touched. Like, I didn't want price to close over here, and it didn't. So we just kept going down, 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 down. Over here we did make a short-term low, but that was quickly reversed, and then we hit the target before 340. So I do notice that 320 to 340 is when we have been getting some good liquidity runs. So the macro time, I think, is when price can change direction or go for inefficiencies and liquidity. But let's say from 3 a.m. to 3:10. So this already hit liquidity here. And then from 3:10 we dropped down. So if we already dropped down here, I don't expect us to run up here again for liquidity, which is on the buy side, since we already took it in the macro time. So now I expected the next hour or next 20 minutes to drop down to take out this side. I did want to also see this, but because I only trade till 4 a.m. EST, I couldn't hold it that long. So we did have consolidation, and then we hit these at 5:10. So that was another good trade if someone would have entered like here, or if I held it. But I did want to take out profit at the first target. So that was my winning trade. My entry model was basically institutional order flow entry drill. Stop loss was above. How I felt pretty calm taking this trade. And in conclusion, price hit my target perfectly, which was a low-hanging fruit based on the 15-minute time frame. So I'll show you my New York trade. So this one I lost. However, this was mainly because of greed. So as you can see, the reason I took this trade initially, so I'll hide everything. Okay, so on the 15-minute graph, we have so much this is a high resistance liquidity. So we ran up this was NFP day, we ran back down, we attempted to go up again, we took out the high, and then we came back down. So from here, I didn't think that we could just keep running up higher, since we already attempted this high and failed. So, and because of all of this liquidity that was built during the run up to NFP, this is all people who want to go long. I don't think we'll just give them a free run to the buy side targets, which is here. I think we want to stop them out and then take it higher. So price closed perfectly within this fair value gap here, and then dropped lower. What I was quite confused on is how price went up and down from New York AM all the way until New York PM. But none of this liquidity was swept, and we just dropped lower. So I wasn't expecting this initial drop. and that was quite a larger drop that just ran straight down without even getting this liquidity at the high, so there was no manipulation. But after I saw that drop, I did see that we have a large inefficiency here, which on the 5-minute would be marked like this. So you mark from the high to the low. And because price was quite heavy, and I did think that we were going to target these lows here. So this is like my primary buy side liquidity area. And I honestly just wanted to target up to around these lows here. Oh, sorry, these lows here. Because this is kind of where there is a cluster of orders from AM session. From Thursday AM session. So one thing I should have kept in mind was the time. So the entry time I took was 3:20 p.m. and this was based on the fact that we touched the inefficiency once, then we closed in it, and then we created FVG. So this is my entry model, which is an IFVG. I also enter with institutional order flow entry drill. So this is my second one. And then my target was the low, so that would be my first partial. But since I only entered with one contract, I couldn't take any partials. This is all demo, by the way. But this is my model that I would have traded. So I did get quite greedy because I wanted to target this low here, around here. Oh, sorry, not that one. It was around here. Yeah, probably that one. So this is what my main target, and because I entered there, I thought it would be quite an easy run to that side. So one thing I should have kept note of is, so once this IFG triggered, we had a perfect entry, so there was really no stop, not even, price didn't even get close to my stop. So my stop loss was here, and my target was here. So as you can see, this is a pretty large RR compared to what I should be going for. So I should have probably just targeted that at a 2.5 and taken the first minor liquidity, but because it was quite heavy, we didn't even touch the lower consequent encroachment level and then ran back down. I didn't think we'd have to retrace back up. So this was a breakaway gap that I thought had formed. We ran down, touched it once, ran down again. So again, I'm making note of the time at 3:20. This is where I like to see runs if we didn't run during the macro time. So from 3 a.m. to 3:10, we took out minor. So this is a run into an efficiency. Then from 3 to 3:20, we didn't do much. We ran back into an inefficiency, but because we're already in an inefficiency, I think the next target, most likely target, would be a liquidity, which is down here, which is why from 3:20 all the way to 3:40, this was a straight run into liquidity. But after some consolidation here, I should have taken my profit. I didn't think, I was waiting for the 350 macro to take us lower, but instead it just took us it just straight stopped me out, which I didn't want to see, but that's okay. And what did I note down? So these are my points I noted down. I entered on an inverse fair value gap on this date, Monday, delivered off a fair value gap 5 minute. So this was the 5 minute inefficiency. And then there was no liquidity sweep, and the sell side target was in a high resistance liquidity run. So because all of this is very high resistance, I didn't expect price to just run down there, which I should have noted when I was taking the trade. Macro time 315 to 345. So ICT says that this is a key macro time where price does run. And there was no news today. Status was wrong. And then yeah, that's kind of how I felt during the trade. So I'm feeling anxious inside as I want to maximize my profit. I'm showing this, but I am showing this because I kept on changing my target. This kind of proved that I don't have a defined target area. So I do need to work on where I'm marking my area on sell side before I enter the trade. So I need to know exactly where I want it to target. And if I take a partial, I need to have 2 contracts on. Instead of just like trying to stop out. So I didn't expect this run, but I do know that macro at 350 does run towards liquidity or an inefficiency. So this was definitely where all of the players were sitting when we wanted to keep going, when we wanted it to keep going lower, which is normal. Yeah, so also on the hourly, let me hide the executions. Also on the hourly, I did think that this candle, since we had one large candle, I thought we would have another large candle that could take us all the way down here. But no. Sometimes I should target the initial range low, so where we started to take off. That's actually a really good target, I've noticed. So I will definitely try to keep track of that one for future trades to see if we've already hit it. And I think my main learning from this one was time. So from the PM session, understand if it gets to 350 and you're still consolidating at the low in a liquidity area, most likely we'll probably run it back to the buy side. So yeah. Thank you for watching this video. This was a review on my trades and how I documented it. So hope it's all good, and like the video if you watched till the end, and subscribe. Thank you.